Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
This morning when I woke up, I was kind of hoping that my father-in-law's speech wasn't going to be that funny. Thanks, my wife and I have a large number of thanks to say. Before I do that, I feel there are a few things that I need to clarify, particularly on the table number front. On each of your tables you have a small piece of paper about your table number, and it has a brief paragraph with a significant memory or story that happened around it. Now it appears that I seem to be particularly slated in this, as opposed to Anna, and so I want to set the record straight. Mark the address. So before Andy, the best man, can get in there and make any number of unforetold jokes, I must admit that I did indeed believe there was a custard dog. I must also admit that I was at the tender age of 14. And I must also admit that I was more crushed about the fact that there wasn't a well full of delicious custards, rather than by the looks of sheer glee from family members who had gathered by the dining room window to see me wander about my wellies looking for an imaginary hole in the ground. So like I mentioned, Anna and I have got a number of people to thank for making this day happen. I do apologise for the long list of names and for anyone that I may have missed. Firstly, to Mr. and Mrs. H, or to Colin and Anne, the in-laws. Firstly, well done for creating such a fantastic bit of crumpet that I can have. Secondly, and more importantly, thank you for the way that you've raised Anna, allowing me the honour of marrying her, and to become part of your family. Thank you for letting me into your home, and for putting up with me for these last 3 years. I like to think I've rubbed off on you a little bit. I certainly don't think you've ever called Anna sweet cheeks, dull face, or pork chops before I arrived. We'd both like to say a massive thanks for everything you've done to make today truly magical. We really appreciate the enormous amounts of time and effort you put in, particularly you, Anne, concerning the attention to the detail to make this day so special. And we've just got a small take of our appreciation for you guys. I see you over there. Probably there's something over there. I'm going to keep going while things are dished out. So okay. Secondly, Nathan and Hannah, I want to thank you both for your support, your love, and also for the constant dribble that comes out of your mouths. I'm truly blessed to have such a great relationship with each of you, so thank you for that. Saying to my parents, throughout my life I've been fortunate enough to have you two I can always turn to for advice, for guidance, and help whenever I need it. You're both excellent role models in how to live for Jesus, and have been a great example to me in showing me how magic works. But thanks for your help today, goes without saying. But I'd like to focus more on the last 26 years of Guildford. For providing for me, for your unconditional love, for supporting my decisions, even though you may not have thought they were the best ones at times, for letting me learn from my mistakes, and for accepting Anna and welcoming her into our family, I say a massive thank you. I'm about to start a new chapter in my life, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without either of you. Hey, we just got a few gifts for you as well. Can we give them a round of applause? To our 5 ushers, 5, it might not say the order of service, but Tom, Nathan, Doug, Alec and Ollie. Gents, you guys have been fantastic today, doing things behind the scenes to make sure that things run smoothly, and you kept me calm. From my point of view, you have made today so easy, and from what I've heard, the mother-in-law is happy, so well done. We've got gifts for each of you as well, which Anna will be distributing around. I think Anna's going to help out as well. The bridesmaids, Sarah, Hannah and Penny. First and foremost, looking lovely, ladies. To say there have been a few grams of the dresses is an understatement, but it's all worked out. Thanks very much for keeping Anna calm, for You've all had to make that day so special. And we've also got some gifts for you as well, which are making their way around. Peter and Joe, your help today, getting people where they need to be, ferrying people about and things left, right and centre, for doing things that need to be done. Thank you so much for that. To Sarah and Dan Hopegill. So day one of our relationship, you've been there, you've shared good times and bad times with us, and more recently you've taken us through our marriage prayer. And so for all your advice, your patience, your prayers today, and Dan for teaching me about the joy of suffering. To the Greers, Matt, Fleur, Josiah and Theo. Thanks must go to Josiah and Theo for being such excellent page boys today, and from our stage and me. And thanks must go to Matt for the videography that you're doing throughout the evening. And to Matt and Fleur for your beautiful prayers today. That's been absolutely fantastic. So really Auntie Alison for the cake. Quite simply, it was amazing. We couldn't have asked more. Thank you very much for that. And we've got a bouquet for you as well. Anna's running around. To Jane, it's already been mentioned, Jane, to the beautiful dresses that you see on the bride and the bridesmaids today. I heard that you almost invaded China. And then apparently there are about 8 million dress fittings. So thank you so much for your time, we really do appreciate it. A bouquet will be on its way to you as well. To Sue and Jan for all the beautiful flowers you saw today. PJ and Chris doing the worship and the ceremony today, that was brilliant. Andrew Gray, who's not there for preaching. Our readers, Catherine Rowe, Nigel Thomas, Sarah Lagan. And for all those that helped out with the service, we're so appreciative. Jason, our photographer, making me feel so easy, the camera, and Anna as well. Mayor and the Horse Towers crew, just thank you so much for your time, for answering Anna's thousands of emails, your efforts to make this place look stunning, and the food, which I think you will all agree is absolutely amazing. Fantastic, so we do thank you for that. And to penultimately, Andy, my best man. You want to sit down? Oh, no, you still got this there. So, best man, many of you won't know Andy that well. So I felt that before I got the mushroom stuff, thanking him for countless things, and before he has the Chancellor of Post, I'm still changing. I'd paint a very brief picture about the exquisitely large-headed man that has stood by us. Andy's timekeeping is absolutely pants. To the point that when you're arranging time to meet, you know you've got at least an additional 45 minutes before he'll actually arrive. This morning, Anna told Andy that I had to be at the church at 10 AM just so that I'd be there for 12. This man is the sole reason we did not wear top hats today. Quite simply because finding something to fit his enormous is more difficult than getting Arsenal to win some silverware. Finally, a few years ago, Andy and I took a trip to Dubai, and being 40 degrees every day, it was the perfect opportunity to catch some rays. Yeah, instead of bracing the sun like every normal person would do, he'd spend hours lathering his body in factor 3,000 sun cream. He'd then venture out to the pool in what can only be described as a spandex-style top, which actually turned out to be impenetrable to sunlight, thus actually rendering the donning of sun cream completely pointless. But seriously, I've got to say thanks first. We made me do a series of horrific challenges, which you aren't going to go into detail about, and for dressing me up in a ridiculous outfit and putting more makeup on my face than the whole of Essex is currently wearing. Secondly, and more importantly though, for your friendship. You stood beside me today on the most important day of my life. You've been a constant source of guidance and advice. You've been my accountability partner, making sure I stay on the right path. We've prayed and had many spiritual conversations together, and we'll continue to do so. And you make me laugh whenever I see you. Not only that, but you have a great relationship to Anna, which means a great deal to me. You're a very dear friend, and I can quite frankly say that without you, I wouldn't be where I am today. So for all this and so much more, I thank you. And we thank you for you as well. I've got just one more thank you to give, but before I do, being together for almost 3 years, Anna and I are bound to have some funny stories to tell. I thought long and hard about which ones I could mention. Ones that wouldn't mean that I'd begin my married life in the doghouse, and ones that wouldn't make the parental units go various shades of crimson. There's only one that immediately sprung to mind. Well, like all good sleep guys, I may have embellished a little. I told her not really the story about a proposal, but I kept pretty quiet about that awkward moment when a man has to pluck up the courage to ask his girl's parents to marry her. To marry her. And we don't know why. Those of you that know Anna know that she hates surprises, and planning anything without her knowing is near on impossible. With this information in mind, it probably won't surprise you. On the day that I tried to conduct this terrifying conversation, I couldn't get Anna to leave my side for any length of time in order to speak to Colin. As the day went on, and the opportunities to do this dreaded conversation became less and less, I was trying everything I could think of to get Anna to leave the room. I tried getting her to refuel the car. Did she have a dance with her? Joe's been on a shit for ages, so I didn't give him a phone. Did the dog need food? Unlikely they don't have one. Did she need anything from town? But none of this was working, and there was nothing I could say to get sweet cheese to leave my side. Then around 9:15, when the four of us were sitting down in the living room, I figured, you know what, I've got nothing to do, so I'm going to go for a break. So I turned to her and said, babe, you really need a shower. For you budding sport fans around you, you will know that February and March is when the Six Nations takes place, and tomorrow, England play France. Now, if you're an England supporter like me, you can put in for a ballot to get free tickets to the game. And without telling her, I did. Cue the look. What made it worse, though, was when I told her that Andy actually shotgunned the other ticket, and I'd be taking him instead of her. It's at this point that Anna said to me, and I must stress, Mr. and Mrs. H, that this is Anna's words, not mine. It's either Twickenham or Sexton. So the options tomorrow are Twickenham or Sexton. Kindly text me the score, please. Back to the story. She eventually went upstairs after being told to go for a shower, and I now had to prepare myself for a conversation that was only really going to go one of two ways. Now, like most of us, ladies and gents, I've been deceived. Deceived by the unrealistic expectations of love provided to us by our Hollywood rom-coms. Of course, my knowledge of these movies is only because I have a younger sister. But growing up, I fully expected that when a time came for me to ask for the hand of my love, I would stood in a gentleman's club with a prospective father-in-law, donning my finest smoking jacket, laughing sincerely at all his jokes, holding a very large glass of whiskey as I nonchalantly asked for his daughter's hand. And of course, he's thrilled, immediately says yes, lights cigars, congratulations. The reality was somewhat different. There I was, on a damp and cold Saturday night, sat in a semi-detached house in Guildford. My smoking jacket had been replaced by my horny Christian boy hoodie. And as they were fresh out of whiskey, I was sipping a particularly stiff glass orange juice. Today, Mr. H hasn't told a joke I found funny. So we sat in an eerie silence, with an awkwardness filling the room that was only made worse by the noise of the film Death Race playing. I was squirming in my seat, trying to figure out how to broach the subject, with not just one in-law, but two. Whilst Anna was upstairs taking a shower, because I declared to her and to the world that she stank. No one was really watching the film, and I sensed that Colin kind of knew what I was about to do, but said nothing. And so, no word of a lie, while straining to hear the shower upstairs was still running, and at the point of the film when the movie star had just got revenge on the character that killed his wife, I said, I'd like to ask you both for a blessing. And no word of a lie, Anne, without even looking up, said, oh yeah? Blessing for what? Fortunately, the conversation went how I wanted it to go. They made me a very pleasant offer. We haggled. I accepted. I said I have one more thank you to make, and that has to go to the most beautiful woman in the room. And I need to thank you not only for agreeing to marry me, but actually going through it. Sometimes I have to pinch myself about it like you. You're the most patient person I know, and you put up with me even though I know sometimes I will. You're incredibly loyal and honest, and we share a passion for Jesus and through his words. And today you've made me extremely proud. We've already made our vows today, but in this room, right now, I ultimately promise for all these people. I promise to love you with all my heart, to keep you safe, to squeeze the horribleness out of you when you need it, to cherish you, to listen to you, and respect you. And above all else, I promise to do my utmost to provide a home in which God will always be at the centre. And with all that said, I'd like you to raise your glasses and toast me. And now it's the most beautiful woman in the room, and my bride.